I remember ICQ.
I do too. I was really in the chat room in the 90s.
Yeah, my when I was in med school, my girlfriend at the time, after I came up to Philly for residency before I met my wife, occasionally we would chat via ICQ. So,
Oh, a long distance relationship via the most plain text chat imaginable.
well, I mean, also phone calls and also whatever else, but
That's okay. In
anyway,
the 90s, I was a teenager anyway, so I'm.
yeah, you're just a baby.
Oh, hey. I turned 43, I'll have you know.
Congratulations.
Oh, shut up.
Happy
Anyways,
birthday.
so this is the 260th for December 5th of December 2024. I'm just reading the notes.
Yeah, I know. I've made that really difficult for you to be able to pronounce. Oh, and 33010.
Yes, and this is the Loose Screws podcast. Part of me hopes he doesn't put the music in and that just a is all everyone gets for the intro. That would just be hilarious to me.
Truly glorious.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to it back, so I mean, no skin off my back.
Yeah,
I'm not you, Daxie. Yeah.
I mean, and with the Thargoid War, we have audio rations, so he may not be able to drop the music in.
Yeah, we got to get this done before we hit our ration limit.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty. So, speaking of getting crap done, I am joined tonight by Commander Bloomingwind.
Hello.
I am Commander Larkshade, and Bloomingwind, how was your week?
My week's all right. I wasn't planning on being on, but Dr. Mrs. Bloomingwind is under the weather. She has the cold I had last week, and my son had last week, and my daughter had last week. Finally hit her, so she is kind of down for the count tonight. So I was like, if you're just going to be down for the count, I'll just hang out and podcast. So I spared the universe Lark Shadow going solo. Y'all
have to get that Asp Scout appreciation show another time.
Yeah, that's going to be glorious when that finally does happen.
I should really write that out so I'm prepared.
Yeah, bummer week at work. So do you know what match day is, Lark?
I've heard of it. I do not remember what it is.
Yeah, so basically, when you're a resident or you're a fellow, and you're applying for a job as a resident or you're applying for a job as a fellow, it's a lottery system. So what happens is you go and interview at a bunch of places and you rank them, and then all the places rank the applicants in the order that they like them. Okay, now, and so yesterday was the cardiology and all the other internal medicine subspecialty. It was the match day. And so I have an apprentice. And I've known my apprentice. She was a fourth-year medical student at a med school in Chicago. And basically, she wants to do what I do when she grows up. And so she came here for residency. And our hope was that she would stay with us for cardiology fellowship. And then afterwards, she would do her autonomics fellowship with us.
Right.
And so I did about everything that I humanly could to make the case why we need to have her. Why we need to have her in our cardiology fellowship program.
Right.
One, she is just as strong, if not stronger, than the other internal applicants. So it's not like an issue of, is there a better applicant than her? I mean, no, there isn't a better applicant there. There's a whole bunch of them that are fabulous. She's one of them. Intellectual diversity. She's very interested in what we do for a living. And, we're kind of one of the national centers for autonomic diseases, which I do for a living. So it's like, okay, she wants to train at the best program. And when she's a cardiology fellow, she would be exposed to all the different things, and they overlap with what we do. I have patients who have heart failure. I have patients who have arrhythmias. I have patients, with vascular issues, aneurysms. And so she would get that training with those specialists who share patients with us. So it's not like she's going somewhere where these rare diseases are completely alien concepts. So,
Right.
I basically put the full court press and, made the incredibly strong case, we need this person. But our program directors is kind of a black box. So it's kind of like we do it our way and we don't really talk to people about it. So match day rolls around and she didn't get a spot.
Oh, that
And
sucks.
and she's going back to Chicago for 3 years next year.
Oh,
So
well, sad
I,
for you as a dad.
yeah, totally sad for me as a dad. Because she's like my work daughter. So
Right.
yeah, in fact, like all the other residents are like, she's your apprentice. Like they're like, we know your apprentice, I mean, it's like they're like, yeah, she wants to do autonomics when she grows up. So she's going to come back for her
When she
autonomic
grows up.
fellowship. So, so because I'm basically in charge of the autonomic department, she'll be coming back for her autonomic fellowship. So when all of it's done, which is good. And then then our plans to hire her.
Nice. And I get the when she grows up thing, but it's funny saying that about someone in their 20s. That also
Yeah.
happens to college football players, and I think it's hilarious there too.
No. Yeah, absolutely. So, but anyway, but the nice thing is she's from Chicago, so she's
Nice.
actually going to go home. Her family's there. Her brother's in the same program she's joining. So, I mean, it's not like she's like being, cast to the winds. It's like, she's going home for a break until she comes back. So anyway, that was, yeah. So it was bittersweet. The news was bittersweet. So,
yeah.
How was your week?
Well, I haven't actually been here in 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
I think so. How was your 2 or 3
I
weeks?
can't remember. Oh my gosh, I have been so busy. So I hosted Thanksgiving and it went off without a hitch. The
Good.
turkey came out amazing, and quick shout out to Needless Hate because he's the one that told me, hey, just do it in the crock pot. And I did, and it was perfect. So would
Did you post
recommend.
pictures of the after? I don't remember seeing after pictures.
Oh yeah, I never took pictures of the after because freaking they got to our house a little early and we didn't have everything made yet, and
Yeah.
so I was just trying not to let everything fall apart at that point, and some stuff got forgotten about.
Gotcha. And what
But it
makes
came out great.
but what makes the crock pot turkey great? When you say it came out great, what about it was great? There's a reason I'm asking.
Okay, it turns out when you do it in a crock pot, and I didn't do like the beer and everything else like Kate recommended because my mother-in-law is extremely conservative and religious, and that just, as funny as it would have been to see her reaction, it wouldn't have gone over well.
No. Not worth
So I just did a herb-based butter with rosemary, thyme, and a whole bunch of other crap in it, both inside and out on the turkey, bay leaves on the inside, put the lid on, put it on high, called it a day. And it
Okay.
was literally the juiciest turkey I've ever made in my life because in the crock pot, all those juices stay in.
I'm gonna have
Every
to try.
last one.
I'm gonna have to try that then.
Yeah,
I'm
would
going to have to
recommend.
try that.
Eat a big crock pot though. I had an 8-pound turkey and I even took off the wings to get it to fit, and it still was barely fitting in there.
Yeah, that looked like a tight fit one from the picture you took for sure.
Yeah,
But the
for
only
the
reason I
first
was
hour, I had one of my cast iron pans on top of the lid to keep it closed. After that, it was fine.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I'm asking is because we go to a friend's house every year, and they deep fried the turkey this year. So normally they
Nice.
used to roast it. So the mom, the grandma, I guess, she was the one it's her house, and so she would roast the turkey. And then last year when we were in Curacao, and didn't go to Thanksgiving, they deep fried it for the first time. Her son deep fried it for the first time, and
Nice.
then so this year they did it again. And honestly, it was a little dry. I mean, it was good, but it was just a little dry. And it was because it was so cold outside that the turkey wasn't ready at 45 minutes. So we kept it on longer. And I think we just
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
I think we overshot the mark. But, that's so that's what ended up happening with that. So I'm actually now really intrigued um, with the way that it turned out. So, so I'm going to try the crock pot sometime.
Yeah, would recommend. Yeah, you do have to get a smaller turkey. My sister actually did hers in the crock pot as well, and she had a 9-pound bird, and she told me the same thing. They just took off the wings because no one likes them anyways, and it still barely fit. So I think like 8 or 9 pound bird for like your standard size crock pot is about all the bigger you can do.
Yeah.
Anything higher than that, and you'd need to have like one of those industrial size slow cookers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways,
So anyway,
outside of hosting Thanksgiving, it's then just been crazy at work as well because the winter season is kind of a busy season for us because
yeah.
as a safety company, one of our products is plow lights, and wow, do we get a lot of questions and concerns and issues with plow lights when it suddenly starts snowing.
Yeah.
And and on
No.
top of that, the only game I've honestly had any energy to play by the time I got home is Farm Sim because I just want to freaking check out from the world by that point. So I haven't even been in Elite for the last few weeks until like today to finish setting up my Type 10 so we can do some Thargoid stuff tonight and tomorrow. Because darn it, we need to save Earth, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I kind of spent, first half of the week kind of wandering aimlessly in Elite, just trying to do damage control with BGS. And then at some point I just said, you know what, fuck it, which we'll talk about the squadron update. And moved. I did a whole bunch of PowerPoint the other night, and that was fun. And I was like,
Like me
this,
and Maxie have been saying, once you
yeah,
actually find your place in it, it's a blast.
yeah. I was like, I'm having some fun just doing my little stupid missions and trying to figure out how to do my little stupid missions because it was like, because it was one of these things where it was like hack the hollow signs, and it's like you can only hack the hollow signs that are already advertising other powers and not get in trouble. And if you hack like the one that's for like Achilles aerospace, you get fined. So and you don't
Yeah.
get, and more importantly, you don't get any credit because like when I was in Howard trying to do this, like the first time for whatever reason at Rogatino High, nothing spawned. Like there were no hollow anythings that spawned. So I went over to the outpost, and I was like, well, there's nothing that's a political sign, so I'm just going to hack the other ones. And it was like, well, all you're doing is getting fined. And so I'm like, that can't be right. So I went back to Rogatina
Yep.
High, TFG, and they spawned. And so I had to get 10. So I just cycled in and out, relogged, whatever, and, got them all done. And then I
Nice.
committed some war crimes and some things like that, but didn't really get notoriety for it. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, when I
And
was
then,
learning power play and doing the sign hacking thing, because that's what I heard is something you can do, I
yeah,
was trying it in Kama as someone for Mahan going against Lee Yong Ri. And talk about a fight you're not going to win because Kama, I think, is on its way to being a stronghold at this point. It's
yeah,
just ridiculous how much Lee Yong Ri is there.
yeah,
But I did get merits out of it at least. So I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, and I think we just need to, as I think it gets more organized and more granular, I think that, we're going to be moving needles in certain places, and that's going to be a lot of fun because there was a system from Lee Young Rui that's one of ours that we were talking about. That's like, yeah, let's really try to put that one under. It's like undeclared or uncontrolled right now, and we're going to try to get it controlled so that we can get the mining profits. So,
well, as someone who's for Edmund Mahon, me, 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 me.
well, you're still my friend anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Um,
It's because
we have
like
a
you're like
series
a
of
49ers,
agreements.
because you're like a
That's why we do
49ers fan.
this. Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
sports. You're a 49ers fan. You're not a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
all good.
We
It's like
our
so
shared enemies are more hated than each other, and that's what counts.
yeah, and Archer's like the Cowboys.
Yes, exactly. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Archer is the Dallas Cowboys is perfect. I love that analogy.
Well, thank you. I do my best. So
If Archer is the Dallas Cowboys, then Jerry Jones is the previous Federation president.
very much so. Very much so. Hopefully there aren't any Dallas Cowboy fans that listen to our podcast.
If there are, you deserve it. Don't worry.
That's true. That is definitely.
Anyways, so segueing right into the squadron update.
Alrighty, so squadron update. Pew, pew. All right. So, okay, long story short, someone out there, or maybe more than one someone out there, has a bone to pick with us. And we're being pushed into multiple wars, more than we can keep up with. And we've just been kind of losing control of systems left and right. And it just got to a point because it's so threatened that like there's only so much we can do. So I'm not going to worry about it. And
Yeah,
that
keep
is
kicking over our sandcastles. We'll play volleyball.
yeah, I mean that's basically what we're doing is we're playing volleyball by saving the earth and we're playing volleyball by doing power play 2.0.
Heck yes.
And then the big thing is once colonization happens, I think we're pretty much going to refocus and go from there ultimately. Yeah, I think we have our core old worlds that we, want to make sure that we keep and control. But I think it's just going to be kind of like, Lave and Listi and Slansula or however the hell you pronounce it, except
Yeah,
our
I
version
can't
of
either.
that. Except our version of that, DSO, looking at you, and then our jumping off point for colonization.
Noise.
So that's what I think where we're at with all this, unless
And
something
street
changes.
action. Because, yeah, at this point, I mean, power play stuff can be included with the squadron update at this point, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It's
And
just I don't understand it enough to actually update the PowerPoint. I mean, somewhat. There was
it's
only
okay.
somebody in
I
our group that was
almost do.
yeah. But if we had like somebody who was like the king of PP or something that could help us.
Yeah, unfortunately, the PP King was unavailable.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, I will give the power play update. And the update is that who cares? There's a Titan hovering above Earth. Literally, someone asked about something with power play earlier in the Discord, and I think it was Daxi that yelled at them about Thargoids, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. No, that was truly awesome. And if you're not on our Discord, please come to our Discord. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It's mostly memes. It's a lot of love and then a lot more memes and a lot of clowning on each other because, memes.
Yeah. Memes rock.
Indeed. At any rate, let's get right into the Galnet update. In case anyone hasn't heard, the Titan Conflex has moved deeper into the core systems and is literally hovering above Earth right now as we speak. So the Titan, basically everything that happens when a Titan lands in a system happened in Seoul today and spread out from there.
Yeah.
Which moves right into the Thargoid War update. Kukonkorjo go. Now
Cocijo.
control. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Tight. Yeah.
So the Titan Cilantro now controls Seoul. There are zero alerts, but 12 invasions and 4 control systems. And those control systems are core systems around Seoul as well. Every single one of them is populated.
Including Alpha Centauri.
Oh my gosh, when I saw that, I freaking lost it. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
So so there are lots of stations under attack right now that need saved, so we can push it back to Seoul to take it right to the Titan. One of those starports is Hutton Orbital.
Because FDev hates us.
Either FDev hates us or FDev hates the Hutton truckers, one of the two. I can't decide which. But on that note, the Hutton truckers have actually reached out to the wider community for help because it takes a lot of effort to get to Hutton Orbital in the first place.
Yeah, I'll be there in an hour and a half.
Yeah, it takes even more effort to get there now. And they absolutely need the help now because they need to save the mug. The mug is that important.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the patience to get there and help, get in touch with the Hutton truckers. They have their own Discord. Them and AXI can help you get that sorted out to save the poor system where we all get our free Anaconda and Hutton mug.
Did you know the first thing I did after I left the Nubula was go to Hutton Orbital?
That was the first thing you did.
That was the first thing I did. Is like I left the Nubula. I have jumped straight to Alpha Centauri, or eventually I got there. It was like a few jumps because I had like no engineering done. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to Hutton Orbital and I'm going to get the damn mug. So, yep, that was the first thing I did. I didn't get an Anaconda out of it, though. I was kind of pretty disappointed. So,
but also with the Thargoid War update, we have this breaking news that came in where the Loose Screws news agency had actually reached out to every single power for comment about the fact that the Titan is now above Earth. And I'm going to go to our reporter who worked on this from the 1930s, who is going to give us the update. So cue the like teletype and all right, now from the Empire, we have the following updates. Aisling Duval said she rambled on for 15 minutes about how much this hurts her heart, and she hopes everything will be all right. And after another 45 minutes of her rambling, our reporter hung up. Arissa Langan Lee Duval states that the Empire sent every available Imperial interdictor to aid in fighting the Thargoid threat. And if they miss and hit a Federation target, her official stance on the position is oopsie daisy. Denton Petraeus could not be reached for comment, as he had chosen this time to take a vacation in Colonia. When Zamina Torval was reached out to comment, all we got back was pictures of spiders with human heads in our email. We didn't try to contact her again. From the Alliance, Edmund Mahan states, all military assets available to the Alliance are being sent to help the effort against the Thargoids. In other news, all Alliance systems keep swapping between powers now, depending on what military is currently passing through the system. Nikado Kane was last seen riding a Type 10 Defender like a horse and shooting at the Thargoids with a laser pistol. She could not be reached for comment otherwise. From the Federation, President Felicia Winters states, where the hell is my lunch? And then the call was cut off. Shadow President Jerome Archer, quote, wait, I thought we were filming the TV show Enterprise. This is real? And then the line went dead. From the Independent Powers, Archon Delane, quote, this better not interrupt my rum supply, unquote. Prana Vantal could not be reached for comment, but his aide stated that he was asleep. Li Yong Rui responded to our request, quote, I could see the Titan fly by from my golf course. It made me miss a shot, unquote. Yuri Grom, when reached out to comment, responded with the following, quote, in Soviet space, Thargoids blow themselves up, and then our phone exploded. Back to you, Lark. All right, and that was our 1930s reporter who reached out to all the powers, and we appreciate all of those who were able to respond.
Truly glorious. Absolutely, truly glorious. Each one of them exactly how you would expect them to be.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
Now, moving on to dev news, because there was a little bit of dev news this week, and I think this is huge news. Take it away, Bloomingwind.
Alrighty. Well, with the recent update, the little update that allowed Sol to be invaded by Cocijo, as a small consolation prize, FDev gave us 600 storage, which is absolutely glorious because it's 3 times as much as we had.
Oh, much. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait.
I know. I mean, I sold off a bunch of modules I had in storage, just, all those, like, I want to have one of each of the fuel scoops and one of each of the of some various and sundry other things, each size Guardian FSD booster, just things like that. So I could just, swap something in and swap something out if I needed to do something on the fly that doesn't modify a ship very much, but I just needed a little tweak. And yeah, so there was a point where I was like, oh crap, I got to sell a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not really planning on using or I'm not using. So yeah, I had done that, just to keep under that 200 cap. I know other people buy ships and use ships as storage, but so having 600 storage is great. I'm thrilled to death. But what I really want out of this is I want to be able to buy some of those gently used ships at a discount, because when people start selling back all those ships to the various and sundry starports, I don't know what they're going to do with the glut of surplus. So
this is going to crater the used Type 10 market. Like, seriously.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was in the mood to buy like about 3 of them at about 60% off. If FDev is listening, let me buy them on sale, please. Yeah, I have a plan for them. And that is all of the dev news worth mentioning this week. So
absolutely. And there are update newts. Update newts?
Update newts. Kick you in the newts.
Oh, frick. I'm tired, y'all.
It's okay.
There are update notes.
That's why there's 2 of us on this. I mean, could you imagine soloing this?
Yeah, I'd still be on update newts if I was still soloing this. I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's update notes from the server side update, and the TLDR of it is shit's on fire, yo.
Yep.
So basically, if you've never fought Thargoids before, either get in the AXI Discord or get in our Discord because we have a lot of good AXI pilots. We won gold. And we'll absolutely help you get set up with a good starter ship and get into the fight to save her. Because dang it, I want to be able to go back there sometime and see it not marred by a Titan that crashed into it or whatever the frick is going to happen. We need to destroy it before that happens.
I mean, if it crashes into Earth, I mean, I kind of hope it crashes into the Indian Ocean where that Tiamat from the movie nobody saw from the Marvel movies, is like was like trying to emerge, like it's trying to emerge from the Indian Ocean, and the Titan does a full like starfall, falls into the ocean and like crushes it back in. I mean, what's the name of that movie? It was the Eternals.
The
It was
Eternals.
the Eternals. I was just kidding. Yeah, I was like I blanked on it because, gosh, it was just awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
somebody's going to probably comment how great it was and complain about us, but I was just like, yeah, it was like watching paint dry.
Yeah, what would you call a Thargoid Adama maneuver, though? Like the Titan's coming down and then it just witch spaces out again.
Thargon?
Thargon. Oh, it sounds like a freaking brand of insect repellent.
I may have to
freaking
rename
love
my
it.
ship that.
Sargon. I named my AX ship the Spectracide
Yeah.
because that's a brand of wasp killer, and I really, really, really do not like wasps. Mostly because I'm allergic, but that
Oh,
aside.
yeah. I don't like them
Oh,
either,
right.
but I'm Irish Catholic, so there's that.
Fair enough.
Different kind of wasp.
And that wraps up the whole discussion. Get out there, kill some goids. If you don't know how, get in the AXI Discord, or even better, get in our Discord. And there's lots of people that'll help you get set up and get out there and get crap done. It's
Yeah, and I
really
mean
not as
also,
hard as it sounds.
yeah, no, it isn't. And I mean, I think it's really important the idea that you can actually contribute and get your feet wet, and people are not going to get angry at you, except maybe AXI. But people are generally not going to get angry at you because all you need to do is build a shieldless, heavily armored crate two, or crate two, or a chieftain,
Python. Or
or a
Chief.
python, or a python two, I guess.
Yeah, those
But
three are the best starter ships for that.
yeah, but I mean, the problem with the python two is that it doesn't really
No,
can't
not
really
the
build up
Python
a
2,
nice
the Python
Python one,
Classic.
the
Yeah, the
Python one,
Classic.
the classics, Python classic, yes. But anyway, just put a bunch of AX cannons on it, maybe a thermal vent beam, and just kill scouts. Like just go and kill scouts.
They
Maybe
die
tag.
fast.
Yeah, they die fast. Maybe hit an interceptor or two, and just go to one of the starports where where there's a conflict, or go to one of the ground ports. Especially go to one of the ground ports where it's a conflict, and just help. Like, I mean, there's going to be a whole bunch of people there. There's safety in numbers. Those of us that know how to take on an interceptor are going to take on an interceptor, and we're not going to be like, "Hey, noob, get good." We're really, I mean, you don't get good unless you try. I mean, the first time I went after a Thargoid, I went after scouts all by myself, and then
Nice.
yeah, and that was fine. I mean, it was like no big deal. They were scouts. I was not really even worried about it. But then I was terrified of what you had to do to go after an interceptor. And then and then not long after I bought my PC and moved from Xbox to PC, we had an AX Piranha night of all things. I mean, there's nothing more psychotic than an AX Piranha site, and it was at one of these ground sites. And so
Nice. And I'm not
I
gonna
just
lie, that sounds like something. I know it wasn't him that organized it, but that sounds like something Dubs would have organized because he was the one that organized the AX Adder Night, and I guess they cleaned house with a bunch of freaking adders
yeah.
just out there killing interceptors.
Yeah, no, and I just, threw a couple of salvation shards on a
Nice.
imperial courier, and a turreted beam, and I just armored it to the nines and just showed up, and I died I didn't die. That was the whole thing, was I didn't die. I was like, oh
Nice.
my
Good
god, I'm
job.
gonna die. And I just kind of hid behind tracks, and I hid behind Chig, and you know I tagged a few things. I made a few 100 million, and it was a really fun night. So if you're like, oh, I don't have the right ship, I don't have the, just slap something together, throw some AX cannons on it, and just get out to Seoul, or actually get out to one of the invasion ground sites where there's a bunch of people and have at it.
100%.
Because I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. I'll be at whatever one has the most, the most likely to be finished.
Nice.
And
I
I'll be
will be there tomorrow night because I had heartburn late last night and barely slept.
ah, yeah. So yeah, I just
We'll
need to
see how
kill
that
things.
goes.
Yeah, I just need to kill things tonight. So, um,
Please get it.
you know,
Get some.
yeah, and I'm like my ship is parked in some system and it's not too far away from everything, and it's all like, I'm ready to go. So I'm actually excited about it. So so what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be, we can get it all done this week, and then next week we go pound the pineapple, or it's going to be like a 2-week process to pound the pineapple.
If I was see, I'd say if I was a betting man, but I'm so bad at betting that chances are I'm wrong.
Yeah,
But if I was a betting man, I would say that just based on reception, like what I've seen on the Elite Dangerous stuff on Facebook, as well as Reddit and other social media, never mind all of the different Elite Discords that I'm in, that this is the most anyone's ever been pumped to go kill a Titan. And I think this thing might be dead by not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after that.
yeah,
I think it's going to go
yeah,
fast. So if you do want to help save Earth, seriously, get in the Discord. We'll help you out. We'll get you going. We'll get you in there. We'll probably get you killed, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah. And I mean, if you tag enough Thargoids, you're going
Oh, the
to,
credits. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
the credits are going to be far more than the cost of your rebuys. In fact, one of our commanders, Borked, has a business model where what he does is he synthesizes premium, and then, he suicides when he's running low on ammo. So he's still netting, 20 million per ship life.
Yes,
And
but Bork is
when you have,
crazy. So.
yeah, and when you have premium ammo and you die, the premium ammo replenishes. So he never lets himself
Really?
get
That
to,
I
yeah,
didn't
really.
know.
That's why his business model is his business model. Credits are
Wow,
cheaper than,
Bork, way to game the effing system.
yeah, yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. Credits are cheaper than mats, and so it was just like, it's brilliant. I mean, it's just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, he's a great
Oh my
guy.
gosh, that tickles me. That's freaking hilarious. Good job, Bork. Keep it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, he rocks.
All right. And so he does rock, but let's move on to the community corner. There's one thing going on because of all the other crap we just talked about with Earth and Fire and Thargoids and all that crap. And that is that buckyball is amazingly still going on throughout all this. Because those lads are crazy. Lads and lasses. All y'all crazy. And I respect it. There's a buckyball race currently going on. It is race 8, and I'm probably going to say this wrong. ×2 marks the dash. Did I say that right?
It's X2 marks the dash, and the
X2
reason
marks.
for that is that basically what they're doing is there are 10 systems you have to visit. And so one is the 4 of the systems form a large X. And so you have to go to the first 4. I might have it wrong, and Alec
Uh,
Karen is going to correct me and actually me on this tomorrow when he hears the broadcast.
yeah,
But
sorry in advance,
but
Alex.
basically there's 4 systems that form a big X and 4 systems that form a little X, and then there are 2 systems that you have to then go to, from point A to point B, because that was the original buckyball race. So you
Nice.
have, yeah, so you make a big X, you make a little X, and each of those 4, it doesn't matter what order you do them in. It might be that all 8 of them, it doesn't matter what order you do them in, but but I couldn't quite tell from the instructions. But then once you do those, you do the last 2, and then you're done. And the last 2 represent the first 2 that were involved in the first buckyball race.
That's really freaking cool. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not,
because
I'm,
this,
I'm not going to have time to do it because I'll be doing AX crap, but that sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's next year I will do a buckyball race.
Oh, that's my
This year
goal
was
for next year too. It's not going to happen before the end of December, man. I'm in the same
yeah,
boat.
yeah, yeah. I'm saving that one for next season, but yeah,
Absolutely. Commander Indigo out there listening, keep me and Bloomingwind honest. Make sure we do a buckyball race next year.
yeah,
Alrighty. And that's basically it for Community Corner right now.
yeah.
So, do you got anything else, Blooms?
No, I really don't have anything. I think we've kind of covered all the business that needs to be covered, and
Yeah.
we talked
Only other
about
thing I have is some personal news that I forgot to mention earlier.
share us your personal news because our one friend who listens to us on YouTube loves the personal news stories.
Oh my gosh, I hope you're still listening, whoever
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Okay, anyways, so my dad, who my entire child and adult life has had a better computer than me, because I built my first computer when I was like 12 or 13, somewhere around there. It was a 486 and it was glorious.
Look at you.
Um, and then people wonder why I've been in IT so long. But anyways, my dad, who has always had a better computer than me because he's always wanted to build a sim rig, and at this point in his life, he finally has like a full home built A320 cockpit. It's glorious. I'll have to take pictures next time I'm over there so I can share with you guys because it's really, really a nice setup.
Yeah.
Well, he recently was like, I should really update my graphics card. And so he went out and bought himself a freaking 4070 Super.
Wow.
And so I inherited his old card, which happens to be a 3080,
Nice.
which, according to every GPU compare I could find, is about 183% better than the 1660 Ti I'm running.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I still
think
need to find time to install that. It's sitting on my desk, but I'm really excited about that because holy crap, I'm going to crank Elite up to Ultra because reasons.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's good of him to have given that to you. So
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have a better computer than him. He's not going to let it happen, and he's
nah,
almost in his 70s at this point. It's hilarious.
yeah, yeah. No, for
Oh
sure.
goodness. But all that stuff aside, that officially ends the community corner. I've got nothing else. Bloom's got nothing else. So if you want to join us on our Discord, visit us on our website, loosescrews.com. That's loosescrews.com. The Discord link is there, as well as a link to merch that we offer. You can also support us on Patreon, which 100% of which always goes right back into the community, or at least we promise that, and then we always forget or don't have time to do the event. But my gosh, I'm going to make it happen. Damn it.
Yeah.
Just give me time.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I mean, it's good to have enough Patreon to actually do something with.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%. So
Yeah, I mean, just because we're not doing anything with the Patreon money at any given time, we're saving it for something big, and we've done one or two nice things with it, and then we've also given away some merch as prizes for participation in various and sundry squadron activities.
100%. We're just a group of space buddies over here at Loose Screws. All we try and do is have fun together and share memes and clown on people who take other stuff way too seriously in this game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game, and it's a game we love.
Yep.
TFG, y'all.
TFG.
So with that, I am Commander Larkshade. This has been Commander Bloomingwind with me, and this was Loose Screws Podcast. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.